All right, peace and gratitude. This is Reverend Dr. Kamara Falade Bandebrawa, and we're doing channel message part two or messages part two for the autumn equinox 2025. Last night, I did the first part of this message, and let me recap on some things that I talked about last night. I went live and I did the first part of this channeled message for the autumn equinox 2025, which is today, if you're going by the Gregorian calendar. And let me recap with what's going on. So last night when I was talking about how usually this is the time where you see an increase, a hike, a spike in violent deaths or just death in general. You just see a lot of death, an unusual amount of death during this time of the year, the last quarter of the year, according to the Gregorian calendar. And I use that loosely. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I make these videos. I make these videos for where I am and where people are. And it does not necessarily mean that I subscribe to this school of thought. Like, I'm very well aware of where the original calendar originated from and how the calendar that is in the Western world, how it honors and venerates Greek god and goddesses that are not conducive and harmonious to me as a melanated woman. But because of where I am and my audience, and also because I would say I'm not called or assigned to give that type of knowledge. But there are people out there who are quite gifted and quite knowledgeable on that subject. And one of them, African Spirituality, I subscribe to her channel on YouTube. She is a treasure trove of information about African spirituality and ancient Kemet and the calendar that melanated people adhere to. So just wanted to put that out there. But I know that I'm called to, those in the West, and it's not my assignment to go into that. So I come from the context of the people that are in the West. And once I plant the seed, I'm called to give you information or spirituality based on those who are here in the West in the African diaspora. And once I plant the seed and give you the information, then you'll go and search out what was originally meant for melanated people. So just to give clarification on that. So here in the West, it's a Gregorian calendar, which means on the Gregorian calendar, today is considered the first official day of fall, the autumn equinox. And yesterday I did a live telling you about the things that go on during this period and what goes on during the last quarter of the year. So today is Sunday, March 21st, 2025. Channel messages part 2 for autumn equinox 2025. Now, there are also a lot of other things. I think like Saturn is in opposition. There's supposed to be a partial, I think it's a solar eclipse, a new moon today. So there's a lot of energies. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right information. So we have a partial solar eclipse today. Today is the first day of autumn, and we have Saturn going into opposition today. And I believe it may be a new, is it a new moon today? Let's see. Do we got a new moon today? Yep, we have a new moon today. So you got a partial solar eclipse, a new moon, and the first day of autumn, the autumn equinox. So the energies, the planetary energies is heightened and intense today, and it could be chaotic today, depending on your makeup and how your body interprets all of this planetary energy. And yesterday I told you, like, this is the time of year where you're going to see just like a spike in untimely deaths, just violent deaths. The last 4 months of the year or the last quarter of the year is where these low vibrational, chaotic, dark energies have to meet their quota. They need that energy. They're here to harvest. That is why this time of the year is known as the harvest. It's just not food that is being harvested, it's energy, it's bodies. I talked about Halloween. Halloween. That um um let me give you clarity. Like when you're engaging in trick or treating, you think that it's another body or another human being, but that is the time where souls, where the veil is the thinnest, souls walk, or souls are the dead walk among us, both literally and figuratively. And when you do it in exchange and give candy, you're basically, it's like a code. It's like a, oh, what's the word I want to use? It's like a signal. It's like a secret code, where kind of like, I'll give an example, like if you belong to a certain gang, and certain gangs may get a tattoo or wear a certain color or wear a particular piece of clothing, and only the people in the gang, or if you understand gang affiliation, will you know that if they give a certain signal, if they have a certain tattoo, that they belong to a certain gang. Well, it's the same way with Halloween and trick or treating. When you give candy, so you're thinking it's a child in a costume, or maybe even an adult in a costume if you're going to a Halloween party. And really what it is that you're telling this entity that you think is a human or has shapeshifted into human form, you're saying that you're coming into an agreement, into a pact, into a covenant. And what you're saying to this entity is that, hey, yeah, I'm willing to help you and give you energy, because you don't have a soul, and I'm willing to help you and give you energy so you can keep living, so you can keep moving about this earth plane. And whatever it is that this entity needs, they know that they could come to you. It's like giving the candy to them is opening the door, is telling them whatever you need. Whenever you're low on energy, you can just come to me and I'll give you what you need when you're giving that candy to them. When they're coming to your home or wherever you might have a party and you're trick or treating, they know that when that energy meter gets low, they remember, oh, I went to this house or I went to this person and they gave me candy and they came into an agreement with me that they would help me get energy, harvest energy, whether it's your own energy or they're going to get you to do things that you, if you were in your right mind, wouldn't do. But you have promised to take care of them and feed them. So we really need to be mindful of this time of year. Notice how the different things that they distract you with and harvest your energy with football season. Notice the type of music that comes out during this time. Notice the different type of music genres, artists who drop certain albums at this time. Notice what type of movies come out at this time. What is their agenda? What kind of vibrational state do they want to keep you in? All of this is calculated. It's not just coincidental and it's not random. So those were some of the things that I touched on yesterday or last night in the first part of the channel messages for the spring, or not the spring, but for the fall equinox. This is a high time to get people's energy through holidays because they know you're going to go out and buy the candy. They know you're going to go out and buy the food and for Thanksgiving. They know you're going to start Christmas shopping, putting up the altars in your home, the tree, the Halloween decorations, which are just a signal to the spirit realm that this is where I can go. This is a portal. They're opening the door, saying that I could come in and harvest their energy. This is you putting decorations up for Halloween. You're letting them know that this is a place for lost souls. I can find comfort here. I can find energy here. I can find rest here. I can cause havoc. All right. So that was the recap from yesterday. You can go back and listen to it. I also focus because this is where I'm currently living, how all of this energy is being reflected in the city of Detroit. Because that's where I live. So I pay attention to all of these planetary alignments and all of these events that take place and how it's spiritual. I really pay attention to that where I live in the city of Detroit. And just to bring awareness, if there is anybody who is listening from the city of Detroit, to stop looking at things from a physical standpoint, because it's always spiritual. It's never physical, it's spiritual. It only appears to us as physical because that's the realm that we live in, but it's always spiritual. So let's do some cards. Let's do some divination. So the first one I'm going to use, 1 second. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to consult three aspects of the ancestors. I'm going to look at the ancestors of the African diaspora. I have a deck that focuses on the ancestors of the African diaspora. I have a deck that I'm going to channel from for the Netaru. It's only Netaru energy. It's also a Risha energy in this deck as well. And then I have a Hoodoo tarot deck. So we're going to cover, at least for me, it's going to get messages from all aspects of the ancestors in which I venerate. Okay. So let's see. We're going to start with our African diaspora. First, we're going to start with our Hoodoo ancestors. So let me get the cards out and see what they have to say about the autumn equinox 2025, what we need to be mindful of, what we need to pay attention to, because our ancestors are always speaking. Holy Spirit is always speaking. There is never a day that goes by that you're not receiving messages from the spirit realm. It is just about you paying attention. Nothing is coincidence, nothing is random. It's not random that you woke up at a certain time. It's not random the color clothes that you decided to wear today. None of it is random. It all has a meaning. We just have to start living intentionally to know the meaning and ask questions. Stop living a life where you're not asking questions. All right. So we're using the Hoodoo Tarot card deck first. So let's see, our Hoodoo ancestors, what do you want to tell us about? Let me ring my bell to welcome them in. All right. So our Hoodoo ancestors, what do you want to tell us about the autumn equinox 2025? And I'm only going to pick one or pull one card. All right, here we go. The card that was pulled was the 6 of baskets. So, and I was just talking about trick or treating. Because in this image, it is an older boy, probably with his sister, and giving her, it looks like they're also in a cornfield, but he's giving her a basket. He's giving her a basket. And she has on the color blue, which is a symbol of intuition. So during the autumn equinox, your children, specifically probably the female, will be highly intuitive, will be given spiritual messages. The number 6 is important. And baskets in this deck represent They are the cups, and they represent the meaning of the baskets represent. Let me see if she has it in here. Love, emotions, and healing. All right, so sugarcane. The plant is sugarcane. The image: a little boy and a little girl are standing in a lush sugarcane field in South Carolina. So it wasn't a cornfield, it's a sugarcane field. The little boy offers his crush. Oh, they're not. Well, they're not brother and sister. So the little boy offers his crush a basket full of rice and with bits of sugarcane on top to win her over. There's an old saying down south: if you can't afford to give a gal jewels, give her sweets so she'll be sweet on you. Positive meaning: rekindling an old flame, getting back together, a clear conscience, restored harmony, indulging in play, reflecting on the good old days, growing up, happy childhood memories, and people who have made their peace with the past. Which makes sense after reading the authors or the creators' meaning of or interpretation of this. It makes sense. If we are in the fall, this is a time of retrospection, a reflection, looking back on the year. You planted seeds, now they have come to harvest. So this is a time of reflecting on the past. Did you do a good job? Have you made amends? Forgiving, releasing, letting go. You may also receive a peace offering. Someone may come in if you've had conflict or some type of antagonistic relationship with a particular person. Don't be surprised during this autumn, during the fall time, that the person spins the block, comes back, has a peace offering, apologizes. It's up to you to determine, and this could be in a romantic relationship or it could just be in relationships, period. But it's up to you to decide how you're going to interpret this peace offering and how you're going to allow this person or integrate this person back into your life. As it relates to Halloween, be very mindful. You think that you are giving, is so interesting because that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this card. You think that you're giving away candy and sweets to innocent human beings, and they are not human at all. They don't even have souls, and you have just gotten into a contract and a commitment and a covenant with these beings. And now they know that when they're short on energy, they can come to you. So when I saw this card, it was a confirmation of that. Anything else that's coming out for me for this particular card? Also, I'm getting to be mindful that when these spirits come to you during Halloween, wait, I'm also hearing that this is a good time to put sweets on the offering on your altar. It's a good time to put sweets, cakes, candies on your altar for your ancestors to sweeten them up. But also, when you're giving like candy to these entities, they may be using you to, they may be using your energy to clear up past karma for them. So be mindful of that. That in exchange, when people are going out trick or treating, that exchange is, I'm using you. I need your energy because I need to clear up some past karma. I need to clear up some past choices and decisions so that I can move on to the next realm. And that requires a lot of energy. They'll use your energy in which to do it. So you really need to be mindful of that. Do you have the capacity? Do you have the energetic capacity to make good on that exchange? You give them the candy, you give them the sweets, and they need you, they need your energy in order to quote unquote go back in time and make good on a relationship or something that occurred that they need to complete, or that they didn't complete and they need to complete now because it's hindering them from going on to another level or another dimension in the afterlife. So that's the Six of Baskets. All right. I'm sure more messages will come as I pull from the other decks. I'm going to leave that out. The next one I'm going to use is the ancestor, or the deck for our ancestors in the African diaspora who were forcibly brought over here to be enslaved. So let's see what their messages are for autumn equinox 2025. All right, one more time. All right, they want to tell us ancestors speaking. So an ancestor is coming through, and it's interesting that I just said put on the altar something sweet for your ancestors during the autumn equinox. And this card says ancestors speaking. I sense unwanted energy. Cleanse your home with herbs and light up a candle. So during the autumn equinox, just like you do like spring cleaning, this is a time you need to cleanse your house from top to bottom. Get them white candles lit up, or them black candles, to get rid of that negative energy in the house. What spirits have you let in? And you let them in through your low vibration because you've stayed in fear and anger and hate and bitterness and unforgiveness. And all that negative energy is heavy and sticking to the walls of your home or your body. It's important to cleanse because remember, the veil is thinnest during this time period. All the way up until the end of the year, the veil is thinnest. This is a heightened time for these low vibrational negative dark entities. Why? Because the daylight is shorter and darkness is longer during this time. You notice that it starts getting darker earlier. We get the quote unquote daylight savings time. So you have more darkness than you do light during this time period. So our indigenous ancestors are telling us that we need to cleanse our home with herbs. Find an herb that speaks to you to help dispel negative energy, that helps with clarity. And we're talking about more than just sage here. It can be lemongrass. It could be cinnamon. It could be basil. It could be hyssop. It could be lemon. It can be salt. Anything that is cleansing, that strips the environment of low vibrational energy. You need to cleanse your house with a herb, and you need to light up a candle, Because what candles do in your environment is that energetically and in the atmosphere and in the ether, it burns anything that's negative, that's hanging on in the atmosphere or energy of your house. That flame, that fire, when you light a candle, it burns that energy. It clears the energetic space. I have a class. I believe it's on my website, that talks about the just what does a candle do when you're doing candle magic. What does that look like in the spirit realm when you're doing candle magic? I actually have a class. It's on my website, and I believe it's like $50 for the class. But I actually have a class that teaches that when you light up a candle, it's more than just for aesthetics. What it's actually doing in the spirit realm, what it's actually doing in the environment around you. And also the elementals, the spirits, the fire spirits that are connected to candles, that now are coming in to do the work for you and clear out that heavy negative energetic debris. They're purifying the atmosphere. So during this time, because if you don't, during this time, clean, 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 more than just with commercial products, but with herbs. Bring that earth element in, and also light up a candle. Because when you allow that negative energy to stay, it's just going to attract the negative entities that are already like out more. There are more of them than usual during this time period. So don't give them any type of reason or invitation to come into your space. Clean, 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 clean with herbs and light up a candle. So that's what, and then it's an ancestor speaking. So you need to talk to your particular ancestor and ask them, what kind of herb do you need to cleanse your environment? Because a particular ancestor is coming through. So you need to ask that ancestor what herb is for you. Everybody won't have the same herb. So we have that. Let me see if it's connected to the 6 of baskets. Also, you may be led, the ancestor may want a particular herb on the altar. All right, so let's do our last one, which is the Neteru. I'm going to pull, let's see, a card from there, from this deck, and see what comes through for the autumn Equinox 2025. All right. We have the quest. The quest came up, and it's the color red. It's very interesting. So we're talking about the root chakra. So we got the quest. Let's look into that. The quest, the quest, the quest, the quest, the quest, the quest. Could be going on a quest, an actual like spiritual quest. to transformation. So we got the quest 15. All right. The quest 0. Divine spirit. So if you start seeing 0 a lot, 6 a lot, those numbers could be important. The quest number 0. Divine spirit, inner guide, I welcome your message of wisdom and open myself to receive the guidance I most need at this time. Interesting that I said go to your ancestor, ask what kind of herb to use. Just reading that lets me know that during this time, messages from the spirit realm are even more heightened during this time. The quest is my representation of myself in my journey. It is the formulation of my question, the statement of my goal, and the declaration of my intention. What is the purpose of my search? What am I attempting to uncover? And I said that at the beginning when I was recapping, I was like, we need to start asking questions. And so during this time period, it's time to start asking questions. Stop taking things for face value. Just because you see it on social media or hear it in the media, you just assume that that's what it is and you don't do your own research, or anybody could tell you anything. I feel like, and I haven't even gotten through the entire interpretation of this card from the creator, but I just feel like this is going to be a time where you're going to have mud on your face because you didn't ask questions. There are going to be people that are going to look like a fool because they didn't ask questions. They just took something and ran with it. And then when it's presented to them, the truth is presented to them, they're going to look stupid. And then that'll go back to the 6 of baskets, where then they're going to start asking for your apology. That also means that the ones like the 6 of baskets coming back for reconciliation, they're coming back because they didn't ask questions. They heard things about you, quote unquote, saw things and just ran with it. Didn't ask questions. They believed what they saw because that's what they wanted to believe, and now they got mud on their face. And now they got to come back around and spin the block and apologize. Because they allow just what they saw and what they heard to be the truth without investigating. This gives me an investigative type of energy here. That this is a time of investigating, reflecting, asking questions. Are you satisfied with what you have done so far this year? Are you satisfied with your harvest? If not, what can you do differently? How can you end the year strong? What changes can you start making? Because oftentimes people want to wait until December 31st or December 30th to start making changes for the new year, or January 1st. Start now, because it takes 30 to 60 days for something to become a habit, for your brain to fire off new neural pathways. If you start now, by the time 2026 comes, you already ahead of the game. Your 2026 should start now. So when it comes, you've already lived it. You've already lived it. All right, let's see what else. So let's go back. It is the formulation of my question, the statement of my goal, and the declaration of my intention. What is the purpose of my search? What am I attempting to uncover? Like, why aren't you minding your business? What is the point? Why are you looking for questions? Or why are you so involved? Why are you so invested? Check your intentions at the door. Check your intentions. Check your purpose. Is it to be messy? Or is it really to heal and reconcile? Is it to gossip? Or is it really to get clarity and understanding? That is what this fall 2025 is about. What connection do I wish to establish? Because what's going to happen is we're going to see people's true intention. That's what I'm getting from this. We're going to see people's true intention. What connection do I wish to establish? Whenever I encounter the quest, I will recite my mantra or prayer. I will recite my mantra or prayer, ask my question, or make my declaration. I will be certain my questions are clear and concise. I will infuse my prayers with praise and thanks for my journey. My requests for intercession will seek to enlighten areas that challenge my development, and my declarations will be bold and direct. This is a time to ask for what you want, be clear and direct. Do your affirmations. And I said that yesterday on the first part of this message is we got to start doing our affirmations. Waking up every day, repetitive, speaking your affirmations. I don't care if it's through a song, if you make your own affirmations, you say them to yourself in the mirror, declare it. The veil is so thin that it doesn't have to go through all of this heavy. That's why you're supposed to clean your space so that when you speak your affirmations, it doesn't have to go through all this dense and negative and low vibrational energy in your space. When you speak those declarations, it can go straight to the spirit realm, your ancestors. It's nothing clogging the pipeline. Your ancestors don't have to clear out all that negative fog and dirt and debris that's hanging in the air. They can hear you clearly because you cleaned up. You cleaned your environment energetically and physically. I will be certain my questions are clear and concise. I will infuse my prayers with praise and thanks for my journey. My requests for intercession will seek to enlighten areas that challenge my development, and my declarations will be bold and direct. No lukewarm or nondescript appeals will do when I have so much to uncover in my quest for expansion and elevation. Get straight to the point. Mean what you say what you mean. Cut out all the pleasantries. My path is designed to lead me to the completion of my cosmic assignment and bring me into full knowledge of my true destiny. I am open to my journey and I'm prepared to grow into the role chosen for me before time. I ask to be enlightened. This is going to be a time where you need to seek your purpose. During this fall season, seek your purpose. Why are you here? And ask it just like that. Why am I here? Why did I come to this earth? What did I say I was going to do? What's my purpose? Why is this person in my life? Why do I act like this? How can I change? Why am I resistant to change? Ask bold and direct questions. Forget all the fluff. You don't need an opening statement. You don't need an attention grabber and an introductory paragraph to speak to spirit. Get to the point. I ask to be enlightened as I seek to fulfill the true and perfect will of the Creator with my life. Please show me my truth. There you go. There's your mantra. Your mantra for fall 2025 is please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. I'm going to write that down, put that on the mirror, on a sticky. Please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. That's the mantra for fall 2025. Please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. Coral is the crystal if you choose to work with crystals. Sacred geometry and the dodecahedron A sacred is spelled Dodecahedron. If you are into sigils or sacred geometry, you can work with this sacred geometry symbol for compassion. Represents an idealized form of divine thought, will, or idea. As above, so below. Living your cosmic blueprint on earth. So for our cosmic ancestors, the divine itself has stepped in for autumn 2025. We're not working with an Orisha or any other Netaru. We are actually working with the divine. This is saying that we have a direct connection to the divine. We're not going to have to go through any other deity or Orisha. The divine is present during fall 2025. And it's time to ask the divine direct questions, and you will get direct answers. And our mantra is, please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. Direct and to the point. So that's your homework assignment for fall 2025. Please show me my truth. Write it down, journal, and act on it. And do whatever healing that you need to do. Please show me my truth, because the divine is present. The divine, the infinite intelligence, the creator, the most high. We got a direct contact, a direct line of communication with the divine for fall 2025. And that would make sense, because this is a time where the veil is the thinnest. Please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to set my alarm clock, but I really want to test out the theory and the hypothesis of getting up at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. or getting up between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. and see what happens and how my life will change. So that is one of my personal goals, spiritual goals, personal development. So those are the messages. Those are the messages, the second part of our channel messages for autumn 2025. Man, it was awesome. It was beautiful. It was a lot. Man, come back and listen to this. Take notes, because it was some gems dropped. Our ancestors came through. It was definitely some gems dropped today. So thank you so much for those of you who attended this live or who will listen to this live later on. Take notes, take notes, take notes. Listen to it several times. If you get confirmation, which I know you will, something resonates, write it down. Thank you so much to the new subscribers. Thank you so much for likes and shares. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. Because I'm going to tell y'all, every single day, I'm jumping into a new parallel version of myself every single day. Every single day, I'm doing the work. I don't just talk about it. I am about it. I do the work. And that's why I'm not on here all the time, because it has to be spirit-led. I say that all the time. It has to be spirit-led. I'm not here to waste time, air, energy, or words or thought. Remember, please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. Please show me my truth. If you are interested in having or engaging in a reading with me, my email is in the description box. I have 1 hour sessions for $111, and then I have 30-minute sessions for $55. And each session, not only do you actually hear my voice where, I call you, But it also comes with, I would do a form and, type, like, channel messages and type it out for you to have, for you to refer back to. Excuse me. I think what I'm going to do is maybe do a video, send a video or an audio message for additional messages that I receive before our actual reading. So that you can listen to it. You can listen to it over and over again. Because with the $111 service, that's what I offer. You get not only a one-on-one reading with me, but I also give you channeled messages that I receive before we even have our reading. That's only with the 60-minute session. So I'm thinking about changing it from like typing it up and giving it to you, and versus just doing it in audio, because we're just so fast paced now. And people don't keep up with documents and things like that, and they're more likely to save an audio versus saving a document and reading it later. But that comes with the 60-minute reading. So if you're interested in a reading with me, you can just email me. And my specialty is ancestral readings, past life readings. That's where I'm really, 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 really good at. Is really, really good at, tapped into ancestral and past life readings. I also do biblical tarot card readings if you want readings that tap into the mysticism of the Bible. So once you email me, we can discuss, what type of reading that you want. But my specialty is definitely past life and ancestral and life purpose. It's ancestral, past life, and life purpose. Those are my passion. Because if you can understand your past life, you can understand your present and your future. If you can connect to your ancestors and you can get messages from them, your life will dramatically change. And of course, once you know your life purpose, your life will dramatically change. And all of these things are very important, because once you get that right in this body, in this life, when you go to the afterlife, it's so much easier. Your transition is so much easier because you've worked off a lot of karma in this life, because you had a communication line or direct line of communication with your ancestors. You understood your past life and how it's playing out in this life and clearing up karma. You knew about your life purpose and how to pursue it. So those three things are like to having your spiritual tool belt, to having your spiritual arsenal. Knowing those three things, when it's time for you to transition from this earth into the next dimension, it makes it so much easier, because you've cleared out a lot of karma. So those are my specialties, but I also do other types of readings. Once you email me, we can talk about which ones work best for you. So until next time, stay peaceful and stay grateful.